Welcome back, my YouTube family. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're going to talk about benching big with long arms. All right, let's get right into it. I've squatted over 750 pounds. I've benched over 500 pounds numerous times. And I've deadlifted over 750 pounds. When it comes to benching with long arms specifically, we need to pay extra attention to our technique, our programming, and the accessories we choose to make sure we're optimizing for a big bench. All right, so if you got long arms, we need to make sure your technique is pretty dang good, all right? Now, if you have a crazy arch, good for you. If you have very short arms, you may not need to pay as much attention to technique, especially in the beginning, because you're very much built for benching, all right? You're essentially just reducing that range of motion. But for lifters with a longer wingspan, you are having more range of motion to go through. So, one is going to make sure the bar path is correct, the J pattern. And if you have any questions on that, I very strongly suggest go check out my How This Natural Benches 500 plus pounds video. It goes all over the J pattern. It's pretty damn good. The other thing we're going to talk about is the leg drive and tying that in with being very explosive off our chest. Now with our leg drive, we need to make sure we're pushing the rug underneath us, right? We're driving and kicking our legs out without actually kicking the legs out, right? We're creating that force, causing our back to slide back onto the bench. But when we have that heavy ass weight, we're pinned down there, and we can use that power from our legs to drive into the bar and explode off our chest. Lifters with longer arms tend to be very explosive off the chest, and this is very, very important to take advantage of when we're lifting, okay? The reason for that is that the typical sticking point for longer limb lifters is going to be in the middle. So we need to create enough speed and power off the chest to help us push through that sticking point to lockout. Then after technique, we need to, of course, discuss programming. All right, programming for long arm benchers. It is very important. When you have shorter arms or a reduced range of motion, you are essentially doing less work. The weight is not traveling that far. But when you have longer arms, you are doing a lot more work. This is very good for a good stimulus, all right? That stimulus creates more muscle, creates more strength, but it also creates a bit more fatigue when we're traveling that bar over a greater distance. So typically would not recommend programming more than 3 times a week or less than 2 times a week. That 2 or 3 is a nice sweet spot. Any more, you're gonna probably sacrifice the intensity each workout. It can be beneficial for some times, but a lot of times not so much. And you're probably gonna create a lot of fatigue that you're not recovering from that. If you only do it once a week, then you're probably leaving gains on the table. 2 to 3 times I've noticed is the sweet spot. It does not have to be exactly the bench every single workout. We can have a comp standard bench one day, close grip another day, and maybe an overhead press or an incline the other day. The other big, most important thing about programming is making sure you're programming and doing your accessories hard, all right? We need to make sure we're putting on more muscle mass, okay? It is crucial. Look at any big bencher. They got muscle mass, all right? Unless you can get that 1-inch range of motion where any twig can lift 1 inch, you need to put on some muscle. So when you attack your dumbbell presses, attack them hard. When you attack your chin-ups, attack them hard. Your shoulder presses, attack them hard. Your curls, attack them hard. Triceps, attack them hard, right? We need to put on some major muscle mass to teach that muscle how to be strong in the bench. All right, let's talk accessories. First and foremost, I like the dead press. Now I got this from my coach, Josh Bryant. And I love it for 2 reasons. Number 1, it really helps reinforce the J pattern on our bench press. You're starting the bar from the concentric phase, about 2 to 3 inches off the chest, dead stop, pressing up. You need to drive that bar back in order for the bar to actually get moving. The other big one that my coach talks about is the eccentric phase of the bench allows us to store a lot of elastic energy that us longer limb lifters will use to drive off the chest. Well, if we take that away and we can really focus on training the concentric only portion of the movement, it's going to really help and benefit when we go back to the normal bench. The other big thing is just going to be our close grip bench pressing. Not only are we adding mass to the triceps, but that variation is so close to our typical bench press that it really helps with a great carryover. Then we have the block press. We want to set that block up so the bar is hitting our chest maybe 1 to 2 inches under our sticking point. This way we can really overload the movement, get very strong in the portion of our lift that we are weakest at. And then again, of course, that carries great over into our typical bench press when we put the whole package together. The last is going to be dips, incline press, and overhead press. We're improving the triceps, the shoulders, and the pec. These movements are great for putting on mass, putting on pushing power. That's just going to carry straight over into our bench press and let us all bench 500 plus pounds. Alright guys, if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. It really helps me out. And of course, if you're interested in becoming a freak of nature, please go visit me at tankstrengthcoaching.com, send me an email, and let's talk. Alright, let's get to it.